All right, what's up, family? Got another good family video for you. We're going to title this one you guys heard all too often. Is marriage really 50-50? You know what I'm saying? You hear that all too often. Is it really 50-50 in a marriage? So I'm going to throw that right in my wife's court. What do you think? You think marriage truly is 50-50?
Of course.
Okay, explain.
Yeah. Meaning, whatever you do, I meet you halfway.
With everything?
Yeah, with everything. It's no doubt, no hold up, no, you shouldn't be rethinking anything.
Okay.
You should say, just as you do for me, I do for you. That's why I call it 50-50.
I get it. It sounds good, but let's be honest, because we're going to do an honest video here. Ain't nothing scripted about this. Let's be honest. It's not throwing wife on the bus, because I love the heck out of my wife. I cherish my wife. And as always, going to give you a word of the day. That's going to be the word of the day. I think it fits perfect for this title. Cherish. Now, you ask the average person, what does cherish mean? I'm sure the average person really don't know what cherish really means. They just know when you like something a lot. Yeah, they right. But if you really look up the word cherish, it means to protect and care for something lovingly. I cherish my wife. So she said 50-50. She said, yeah, she believe in that, right? She said, because she meet me halfway. Now watch this. I do cherish my wife. Now watch this. Since she said it was 50-50, when we first got together, I had the apartment. You was living with your mommy, wasn't you? Right? Living with your mommy and your daddy.
Be careful what you say.
So you moved in with me. Did you?
Yeah.
Now I'm going way back in the days. The rent was like $650. Was you giving me half of $650?
Let me rewind that a little bit. I was living with my mother because our belief is that if we ever get to leave out of the house,
you have to be married.
We have to be married.
Exactly.
So I have a reason why I was living with my mommy.
Her mommy. But even when you did move in with me, shortly, then we got married immediately after.
Yeah.
Would you help me pay half the rent? Since you said 50-50, right? The rent was cheap then, $650. Was you giving me $325 a month? Huh? Yes or no?
No.
Oh, but she said 50-50. Then we did get married, and we had to pay for our own marriage and everything. I think I paid most of that. Did you pay half of our wedding?
No, but no.
You did contribute.
I did contribute.
Okay, let's fast forward a whole lot. Fast forward. When we bought a house, because shortly after we bought a house, right? We went and bought a house, and we encouraged and we inspired a lot of our friends to buy a house. Matter of fact, it inspired them to get married because we got married. It was with their women before. And then we bought a house. We inspired them to get a house. That's a wonderful thing. I forgot. It's one of my videos I did where I talked about that. I'll put up there and show y'all. It's good to inspire others. But anyway, when we got a house, our mortgage was well over $1,000-something a month because we lived in a really nice neighborhood. Did you help pay half the mortgage?
No.
Oh, but she said 50-50.
But I'm gonna tell you why.
No.
The majority of the majority bills. He's a man. He was doing his part as being responsible as a man, as a father.
I agree.
And putting a roof over our heads. But he wasn't actually doing it all by himself. I contribute.
Yes.
Meaning, I didn't make a lot of money like he does, and that's another thing. It wasn't about who makes more money and all that, but it was more of a comfort.
But you said 50-50.
No, but it was more of a comfort about what he can actually pay. Now, by me seeing him doing that, I stepped in. That's why I.
Are you sweating on your mustache because you're lying, or you're full of crap? Why are you sweating? No, but it's hot out here. Look at it.
But the thing is that I did pay some of the utility bills.
She always contributed. Yes. That's what made me cherish you even more. Yes. Remember, to protect and care for someone lovingly. Cherish.
Yeah, babysitting, put a part of that.
I agree.
And all that, and
I agree.
Sure.
Babe, that's why I cherish you always and forever. Always. It's because you were not like a lot of these selfish women out here. I would never tolerate that nonsense, especially when I've been to the mountaintop. You get what I'm saying? It's like I see what a real good woman does. But let's stick to the point. The point was, she didn't give me half of the mortgage because she said 50-50.
That we didn't have that kind of relationship.
As your homegirl Judge Judy would say, I don't give a rat's ass. You said 50-50. Okay, how about with the insurance? Our insurance, our daughters needed braces, our daughters needed this, we needed that. did you help pay half the insurance?
No, but
Oh, well, she said 50-50, right? But I'm paying all the insurance. Oh, we went out and got a brand new car when our kids was little. Did you help? You drove that car all the time, right? I wound up driving our raggedy car. I gave you the newer car. Did you pay half of the car payment?
no, but that was
No. Just a simple answer,
No.
yes, no. She said no, right? But she said 50-50, did she not? Did she not, Your Honor?
But
She said 50-50. But she wasn't paying 50-50.
Okay, but that was your decision. You gave me that. I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
Because you know that I also contribute.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I said in our relationship it was 50-50.
Yeah.
Not that I was taking if he has a mortgage or not, and I appreciate you, babe, for the man that you were and that you are.
I know.
But but the thing is that that's why I say 50-50, because it's all about contribution.
It
I've
is.
never remember when we actually was I had to leave out of my job for personal reasons.
You got your profit
and
share?
I got my profit share.
That was well over 20-something
I
grand.
didn't even rethink that. I said as soon as I get that check, I'm gonna give that to you totally,
did.
because you
She
have
did.
done your big part.
She took 1,000
Yeah,
and she
I
gave
took
me over
1,000.
20-something grand and said, babe, you do with it what
and
you
it
need.
didn't hurt me.
But
Why?
why did you give it to me? Because I was a drunk?
No.
Because I was a drug addict?
No.
Because I was a screw up?
No.
Because I was a failure?
No.
Exactly. You gave it to me because you knew.
I knew the kind of man that I have in my life.
And what I did with the money, I invested it in us. And that's why we was
That's
able to
why.
have great things and go on great vacations and stuff like that. Because you know I always did the right thing with money. I didn't do foolish things with money. So you trusted me. You cherished me as well. And I
and it
appreciate
didn't hurt me because
Yeah.
and
She's
that's why
always-
I said
she's
it's
always did the right thing.
50-50. It's 50-50, so I'm not.
Now,
You
but she's
did
right.
the
She
part.
always did contribute.
No, you guys.
It might have been a little bit, but she contributed.
You are so funny.
Watch this. I got a good one for y'all. Watch this. How about when our daughters was, let's say our daughters was about 12 and 9 at the time. Me and her got in a heated disagreement. Real heated. I mean, real heated to the point, you know how we trying to get away. Look, I'm gonna just go for a walk. I'm gonna leave. And then they want to start throwing stuff and all acting stupid, right? And mouthing off, right? We got in a real bad argument this day. Real bad. And then after all of her mouthing off, I said, what? You always running your mouth. I said, I bet you don't even know how much we pay for the mortgage. You don't even know how much we pay for the mortgage, do you? Tell me how much. And she was just mouthing off. And every time she would mouth off, I would talk louder over and go, how much is the mortgage? And she'd be mouthing off something else. And I go, how much is the mortgage? And she'd keep mouthing off. I go, how much is the mortgage? What made it even more funny, because she said, that ain't my problem. That's your problem. You're supposed to pay the mortgage. You a man, right? Right? So I had left the house, went for a walk, took a ride on my bike or whatever case, right? What was so funny about it is later when I came back, our daughters was they met me on the porch and was cracking up. They said, Dad, when you left, you know what was so funny? Mommy went in the room and went through all your papers, and all she kept doing was saying, I gotta find out how much this mortgage, because I'm tired of him throwing it in my face. How much is this mortgage? I'm gonna start paying half the mortgage.
Because where I went wrong, and then a lot of us females go wrong, is that we rely on everything individual. We don't even worry about that because you got that. You take care of the mortgage, you do
Yeah.
the phone calls. So why should we even?
That was funny. Our daughters, they threw her up under the bus.
So
They
why
threw her-
should I lift up a finger and do that? But it's wrong for me not to even know how much
You're right,
the
really.
mortgage was.
And then she was mad at our daughters months and years later, because every time it was an inside joke we always had. Anytime they get in an argument, they'd be like, yeah, just like you didn't know what the mortgage was when you and Daddy was arguing. Like, that was so funny.
You know what's even more funny? That we can laugh about it now.
You can laugh about it now.
And we can
But at
take
the
that
time,
as
it
a
wasn't
joke.
funny, right?
No, it was not. It made me feel real stupid.
But yeah.
Oh, man.
But back to the title of the video. Is marriage really 50-50? Because if you ask me, I would say to a degree it is. It's 50-50 with sharing, caring, protecting, and love, yes. And it's 50-50 with any and everything else as well. But it's really about meeting each other to make a whole. So there are plenty of times, like the great Teddy Pendergrass said, not 70-30, not 60-40, we're talking about 50-50 love. You know, so there's plenty of times I may pay 70 and you pay 30, and that's fine. Because together, our 70 and 30 made 100. That's 50-50. You know, there's been times where you paid 60 and I paid 40. But together, we put it together and it made a whole 100. So when it makes sense like that, yes, it's 50-50. But it's
Yeah.
not 50-50 if you want to be. I've had acquaintances where they literally say, yeah, man, my wife got to come up with half the mortgage. I'm like, what? Yo, so you make your wife, not that you make her, but you and your wife got to agree with y'all pay half the mortgage? That to me, I've always thought that's silly, because even though back when we bought our first house, yes, I paid the mortgage. I paid the bulk of the bills. I paid the mortgage. I paid the car payment. I paid our insurance. Even though I had good insurance, but the leftover stuff, our daughter's braces, whatever. I paid all of that. But I love and I cherish how everything about you as a woman, you always contributed. Because when you seen it, I was paying the bulk of these bills. I remember one time you came to me in the very beginning and you said, no, babe, come on, this is getting ridiculous. She said, yo, you paying all these big bills. She said, she said, all I'm doing is paying grocery shop. This don't make sense. And remember, you got on my case about that. And we sat down and had a good conversation. And from that point on, my wife was like, nah, look, at least I'm going to pay the electric bill. I'm going to pay the water bill. In Jersey, I pay the water bill. She was like, I'm going to pay the electric bill. I'm going to pay the water bill. I'm going to pay the cable bill. And still pay the groceries or whatever. And then you still will contribute with other things we do as well. So those are the things that make you cherish one another, because it's not selfish on neither part. Together, no matter what you pay, I pay, together we come as a whole to make 100, and that's when it makes 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, we both have to bring something to the table.
Yes.
You cannot always be that person. Like you cannot. I can't expect you to bring everything to the table and me to sit back and be taken care of.
And say silly stuff like, that's a man's job. Like that video, remember? That's a man's job. That's silly. What you wouldn't like it, no one would like if I say that's a woman's job. That's silly. You don't say that.
Yeah, and it also makes you feel like you're important, like you have done something. So you don't feel like, you're a bum. That's why I'm saying, like, everything is 50-50, because I meet you halfway.
You do.
It's not about
not
that
totally
you
financially, but I get it.
Well, if you remember, this year I paid the whole taxes.
She paid it one time.
I paid tax.
She paid it one time.
I made it. I made it my job to say,
that remind me of?
I'm gonna have you take a break.
She paid it one quarter. One quarter. That remind me of? Remember the movie Mean Girls? Somebody put a note in the girl locker, and it said Shirley has sex with a hot dog, and she read the note. She said, she turned around. She said, oh my God, I only did that one time. Like, why would you even admit to that, yo? Yeah, she did. Nah, but my wife has always contributed. You have never been selfish. In the very beginning of our relationship, during our relationship, all the way to now, and many years more, you have never been cherished. I'm selfish. And those are the reasons why I cherish. Remember, to protect and care for someone lovingly. I've always cherished it because it's like, wow, I've known so many acquaintances where they don't get that. They don't get that at all. And it's like, you talking about you and your lady got to split the car payment? Y'all got to split the electric bill? Really? Electric bill is $90. What are you talking about? You got to get her $45.
Even when you...
What?
But see, this is why I'm saying 50-50. Because you remember when you used to go to work, I used to even get up earlier to fix your breakfast. And I used to fix your lunch.
When you wasn't working, when you was no longer working.
No, even when I was working.
Okay.
Check this out.
She did.
So then I got up because I started later time, but it was only part-time.
You did.
So me, while you going to work, I make sure that I take care of the girls, make sure
My wife
they
always
get to
did.
school, and then after that, I go straight to the job.
And she
Then
made me
after
breakfast
the
and
job-
lunch in the meantime.
So
She
what is-
always done that.
Okay, so what do you say that? That's 50-50.
That is. You're right.
I'm looking at that is what it is. Then after getting out of work, I didn't call you say, go pick up the girls.
Dinner was
this and
done.
that. I go pick up the girls from the babysitting or school, and then I would come home,
You're right.
make sure I organize,
You
and
did
make sure I
everything.
cook a dinner.
Dinner was done when I
that's
got home. No matter what time I got home, you had dinner done.
Yeah,
I don't
so
care if I
that's-
got home early at 3 o'clock one day. If I got home at 6 o'clock, dinner was always done. You had, because you took them values from your moms.
Yeah.
You would start
And
dinner
I
like
appreciate
early
her.
in the.
I appreciate her so much.
Yeah.
Because even though my mother never sat down with me and talked to me, her actions said it so much that I would say that's what a woman does. And that's why I say it's 50-50.
All the
It's that
vacations we went on, did you pay half?
I contribute.
Did you pay half?
I,
She said half. We had to pay for this trip $8,000, for that trip $9,000, for this trip $7,000. Did you pay
I
$3,000?
paid for the Uber.
Yeah, but no, she has always contributed. I thought you was gonna go with that when you said that. When you had stopped working at your job at the time, and now I was the sole provider.
Oh yeah.
And then they screwed you around on your
big
unemployment.
time.
Oh man,
But they
we
do
went up.
best.
Yeah, that's what they do best. You're right. They screwed you on your unemployment for months. That you had to fight that, and you got it all back in the end. But for months, at least a bare minimum 6 months, they had screwed her over, talking about paperwork all messed up, this crap. But anyway, that whole time, because remember, our daughter tried to clown. They try to clown you, and then they try to clown me on another, talking about, oh, so mommy was a bum, right? She wasn't working. I said, nah, knock it off. Even though mommy wasn't working, guess what? I don't care. 'Cause remember, I was working this BS job at the time, this environmental company. I was being at work at 5:30 in the morning. My wife would get up 4 o'clock in the morning, make me breakfast and lunch, then go back to bed. She did it all the time. And like I said, it didn't matter if I got off work early that day or late. Dinner was ready when I got home. That's still 50-50. So I'm doing my bulk of the stuff financially, but then she's doing her part, nurturing wise, so I don't gotta spend so much on breakfast, lunch, or any other stuff, keeping me at peace of mind. So you're right. That made it 50-50.
You didn't take, it's the important thing is that you didn't take 100% of the load.
I didn't. You're right.
Because there are females and males that they got this selfish way of not being there for each other. And in a relationship, it's all about both sides.
Now, it was a flip side to that. Remember, it was one point when I got laid off. Remember in 2009, I wasn't working and you was working. And remember, that's when my oldest daughter, tried to clown me, talking about I was a bum. She said, oh, so daddy, you was a bum while mom was working. I said, well, you're crazy, ain't no bum. I was getting unemployment and severance, so I still had a check coming in every single week. We need to get out of here with that nonsense talking about I was a bum. I never no bum. So, but she tried to clown me. And then but my wife was the one sole provider. Not really, because I still had 2 checks a week. I mean, every week I had a check on. 1 week was unemployment, next week was severance. I had that for a while. But they tried to clown me. But even still, I took on the nurturing job. Now, I was the one getting up in the morning. She didn't really do breakfast much, but I still would make her something. And then I still would write a little note, how much I love her, cherish her, and put it on her car steering wheel when she got in the car in the morning as a surprise. Well, I would pack her the lunch, and I'll put a little note in the lunch, how much I love you and stuff like that. And then I took pride in making dinner, calling you, and then you like, oh, babe, I'm on my way home from work. And I took pride in cherishing, as Shadi would say, cherish the day. I took pride in cherishing the fact that my wife on her way from home from work, I already cooked dinner. I would heat the food up, look out the window, see you pulling up, and have it steaming hot on the table with a nice fresh drink. As soon as you walk in the door, give you a kiss like I always ask you to do when I come home. I appreciate you there when I get home. Every man loves that. When you come home from work, my wife is there. Ain't no, oh, I'll step down for a while. Those little things matter. You know what I mean? Because I remember a couple times you and the girls had stepped off somewhere and I got home from work. And I just asked, I said, babe, I really love it. Because you said, babe, was you bothered that we wasn't home? I said, no, I wasn't bothered, but I love it when I walk in the door, y'all home. And then from that day on, you said, babe, it won't happen again. I'll make sure I'll be home. And I appreciate, see, that's even 50-50. But back to, I would love my wife would come home. I would look out the window, put the food out for her, put her drink out, and then she walk in, kiss her at the door, hug her, and I say, hey, babe, come on, I got your food, it's all right here. And I would always throw it in her face and brag about, you see how when you come home from work, your food is hot and steaming. You see the steam. I said, I got your stuff laid out for you when you come home. I took pride in that.
Yes.
But my daughter tried to talk about I was a bum. Get out of here.
I'll give you, I gotta give you a 5-star on that.
No.
You know, I gotta give you a 5. Even though I don't know how you did it. Like, what? For example, I woke up in the morning when you wasn't working, and I got up, ate whatever you gave me, took home, and I gave you a kiss. And when I went to the car, you had a rose.
Sometimes I would do it in the middle of the night because I knew your nosy butt was like, babe, what you doing? What you doing? I would get in the middle of the night, or while you at work, I go buy roses or whatever, and then in the middle of the night too, because I didn't sleep much at night. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I would get up while you sleep, go to the car, and tape a rose to the steering wheel with a note. I love it. So you like, oh man, but that's 50-50. See, I was doing my part to make her day. My part was being nurturing at that time to make her day that much more special. And so therefore she cherished my time and my presence and reciprocated that cherish feeling right back to her. Remember, cherish really means to protect and care for someone lovingly.
Exactly.
So that's our definition of what 50-50 is.
Yeah, so if you ask me, once again, Papi, yes, our relationship is 50-50. Yes, it is. We all have to have each other's back.
Yeah.
And be able to say, you know, he does a little bit more, but I got to make sure that I almost got to meet him.
Yes, to make a whole.
Miss him and make a whole.
And I agree. In closing, I would say pretty much the same thing she said. 50-50 don't always means monetary 50-50. 50-50 could mean one person could be more in a monetary mind, but the other could be in a somewhat monetary but nurturing. But together, they come together and make a whole. Because if I'm paying the bulk of something, you making it my day easier by packing my lunch, making my breakfast, hugging and kissing in the morning, and making my day that much easier, opposed to making it harder. Because could you imagine I'm paying the bulk of something and you're not even. I've known guys like this. Go, man, my wife won't get up early in the morning, man, making me breakfast. She's talking about it too early. That's sad. So not to keep going on with that. My end closing would be, yes, marriage is a 50-50, and it don't always have to be monetary, meaning money. It don't always have to be money. A lot of times it has to do with emotions and feelings. If another person can make your day more special, they do their part, right? Financially and emotionally. They do their part, and together y'all come together and make a whole. That's where it's 50.
Exactly.
All right? On that note, peace. Uh-oh, did I say peace? I need to say peace.